Hey, Aus-Rock lovers the world over, it is time. There's lists of the top this and the best that all over YouTube, but here is the top 25 legendary Aus-Rock guitar riffs ever, according to me. Alright, let's do it. Give me a quick like and subscribe. Make a comment. Feel free to disagree. Put in the comments what you think should have been in here, what I've missed. Alright, at number 25, Grinspoon. Huge band in the 90s. Did anybody make more of a career out of having their E string detuned than these guys? Now, they had a plethora of great riffs. But then they grew up and released this absolute gem. Number 24, John Butler Trio, Better Man. This choice is largely driven by the ARF, audience reaction factor. Personally, I kind of prefer Zebra, but this is one of those songs that always gets toes a-tapping. Now, this is quite a challenge to play accurately and in standard tuning on a 6 string. John actually plays it on a 12 or 11 string in open C tuning, but as followers of my channel will know, there's nothing I love more than the challenge of figuring out how we can play something without needing to grab a different guitar mid-gig or completely retune. So, check it out. Coming in at number 23, By Fire. Hiatus Coyote. What an amazing band. What an absolutely monstrous group of monsters. Now, I know. Are they rock? Do they riff? What even are they? They don't even have a guitarist. What even are they doing in the list? Fight me. The first time I heard this track, I had that involuntary laugh thing, like when you just can't cope with the surprising goodness. At number 22, One Hand Killing by Melbourne's 12-Foot Ninja. These guys are like Incubus meets Dream Theater at an Antonio Carlos Jobim retrospective, hosted by Nile Rodgers on a yacht borrowed from Michael McDonald and captained by Harry from the Cat Empire. Oh, the Cat Empire. Why haven't I got any of that? Get a guitarist. And a huge thank you to Mr. Joe Licciardello on drums for this one too. Check his channel out. Number 21 is another riff-heavy Aussie act, and this one is so much fun to play. Another huge thanks goes to Joe Licciardello for the wicked kicking on that one. Now that one's clearly played on a 7 string, but you can easily do it on your 6 just by dropping your E all the way down to B. Like that. At number 20, Silverchair. Now I almost went with The Greatest View, with that enormous riff with all those interesting note choices, but I couldn't go past Daniel Johns' just rude flat 5 over that E power chord in Freak. In at number 19, Midnight Oil. Now I was sorely tempted to pick Read About It for this, because that's one of my earliest memories of recognising an odd time riff and trying to count it out. But I could not get past the nervously aggressive Oils classic that is Power and the Passion. So apart from that frenetic kind of edgy riff that's nerve-wracking in itself, the way the song modulates constantly is so unsettling, and it really keeps us on the edge of our seats. That's your verse pattern. It's clearly a B minor sort of riff. And then to go from the verse to the pre-chorus, it goes via a D and an E major, but then the pre-chorus riff is E minor. So then we're in E minor, but then those really lovely haunting chorus chords come over in E flat minor, so it modulates just down that half step, which is very unsettling to me. But those beautiful haunting chords in the chorus, 3, 4. There's 2 guitars playing those chords, fleshing them out. And the whole thing is played over that jittery bass riff. You know, all Oil songs have this amazing intensity in their music that is a perfect marriage for the seriousness of their lyrical content. The band fires up, we're all on edge, and you just know Pete's got to be in his bonnet about something. At number 18, one of Australia's greatest rock bands, Powderfinger. If you're watching from elsewhere in the world and you're not familiar with these guys, their catalogue is well worth digging into for guitar tones alone. Now, considering the Finger were a dual guitar rock group, they're not a terribly riffy band, although they did have their moments early on. The pub rock classic, and it goes without saying, I mean, that alone should be in the top 5. But my choice here is a nod to simplicity. Yes, I love busy fingers and a clever use of chords and theory, but what I love most of all is pure simplicity, especially in good hard rock. So I've gone for Belter. And another huge thanks to Miles on the drums for this one. I love having this guy playing with me. At number 17, Wolfmother, Joker and the Thief. Perhaps not our most original sounding export, but I just flogged this band's debut album. Absolutely loved it. And it was really hard to pick a riff out of all the riffs on that album. Joker and the Thief has a few things going for it. One, it's their least Black Sabbathy sounding riff. 2, it's stood the test of time, as we saw a couple of weeks ago when they were the undeniable high point of the AFL Grand Final halftime entertainment. And 3, it's so guitar-y. All those hammers, all those hammer-ons. It's like Andrew Stockdale has turned the riff that every teenage boy plays into an awesome rock song. Bonus points for the 70s style heavy metal album cover too. At number 16, Lighthouse by the Waifs. Now Josh Cunningham goes largely unmentioned when talking about legendary Australian guitarists, but he is just an astonishing player with a beautiful touch. At 15, Skyhooks, another amazing Aussie band from the 70s that belted out riff after million-dollar riff. My choice here though is a nod to two big firsts in my life. Number one, I reckon I saw this on Countdown. I'm sure it was the first time I'd ever seen Countdown. It really stuck in my head. So that was the beginnings of a religion right there. And number two, this was my first conscious exposure to a wah pedal. Oh yes, thanks to a couple of blokes that I've played music with since we were kids. Marty and Jason, thanks heaps for having some fun with me on this. Number 14, We Can't Be Beaten by Rose Tattoo. Another distinctly Australian sounding rock band of my childhood. This song really stirred something in me as a kid. All I wanted to do was listen to this song and learn how to play it. I kind of figured out bar chords, but there was no way I could get that up to speed as a kid. And where I lived in this little place called 1982, I couldn't get Google on my wireless, and so I had no idea that there were such things as open tunings and slides. So now I know it was just open tuned and a slide on the finger and away you go. It's a 1-4-5 in E. You know, I'm not much chops as a slide player anyway, so the way I play this is I drop to D, capo 2nd fret, that's easy enough, top 3 strings. But you can go a half capo on 4 strings, opening up your B and E strings. Yeah, but you know, you can get the thirds in there. That's a fun riff to play. Lucky number 13, Mondo Rock, Eric McCusker. Eric has always been one of my favourite Aussie guitarists. He's just so clever and so understated. I love this riff because besides being super catchy and instantly recognisable, you can play it with bendy double stops instead of the... You can... That makes it good fun. But on top of all that, it's also got a neat little lesson in voice leading. On top of all those chords, you've got this melody. All over an A pedal tone. That is so cool. And a big thanks again to Marty for playing drums on that one. You keep playing like that and I'll let you use your snare. In at number 12, one of my favourite bands of the 90s, Regurgitator. The Gurge! And this one has so much funk on it. Plus, it's a diminished riff. Not something you hear every day. Thanks again to Miles for drums on that one. You put some stinking funk on that one, mate. Number 11, Baby Animals, Rush You. Dave Leslie, legit Aus-Rock guitar god. Good luck leaving your air guitar in its air guitar case when this absolute Vegemite sanger comes on. Awesome fun. Thanks again, Miles on drums and Chop, Jason on bass for that one. Welcome to the top 10 and welcome to Diesel. Diesel is just such a powerhouse of vocal and guitar abilities. The man gives me shivers.
I've been loving you.
Do you feel that? You cold? Are you cold? And whilst playing the intro riff to Cry and Shame is guaranteed to get your cover gig pumping, it was the riff from Tip of My Tongue that stuck in my head forever from the first moment I heard it, from the first few measures. I still remember where I was, when it was, and even what car I was driving when I first heard this song. And I've never since tired of hearing it or playing it. Brilliant. At number 9, some more wonderful simplicity from Dragon. Yes, I know they're from New Zealand, but like many other legendary legends from the land of the long white cloud, we have appropriated them as our own. A practice wholly endorsed by our current and superb Australian Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Number 8, Tame Impala, Elephant. Kev could have filled the top 5, right? But this has to be one of the greatest examples of taking something simple and classic and turning it into something new and absolutely incredible. Elephant retains all the raw appeal of its sludgy blues roots, but old mate has literally turned that shuffle riff on its head. Number 7, Evie Part 1, Stevie Wright. Oh, so Aussie, so rock, so perfect. Malcolm Young and Harry Vander on guitars, basically the easy beats sounding like AC/DC. And this one's 3 for the price of 1, because there's that main riff. I got some money in my pocket. I got my cockies in my head. I got myself a couple of tickets. Rock and roll band. And then you've got the chorus riff. And then you've got that brilliant, one of the greatest rock 1/4 progressions ever played. Amazing. Perfect. At number 6, Goanna from Geelong. I imagine Aussie legend Shane Howard came up with this bloody ripper of a riff. Now a lot of people will say the riff is all fourths, but you know, they had a couple of guitars in the band. You can definitely hear on the recording that A minor being pulled off to the open strings at least. And I reckon you can also hear that it's not just those fourths, it's got the bass note in there as well, but I didn't include that right then because you need the A note pinning down the entire riff. But if I put some bass guitar down, you can hear this whole song embodies such a healthy dose of Australiana. I mean, from the didge in the opening, to the bass player's beautiful Maton JB4, to the lyrical indictment of the way this country was colonised, and right down to the drummer sporting a Bombers jersey. This could be Australia summed up in 4 minutes 30. If someone says, what do you know about Australia? Just show them this clip. So here we are at the top 5. Number 5, The Real Thing by Russell Morris. Written by Johnny Young, produced by Molly Meldrum. What a classic piece of Australiana. I just love this opening though. This intro riff to this song is so recognisable. Roger Hicks from Zoot. Yeah, right hand finger picking. The way he keeps sneaking a little open G string during his chord transitions. It is fantastic. It's such a clever way to play those 4 chords. Love it. At number 4, Rick Springfield. I know, but I love it. I always have. In at number 3, Eagle Rock by Daddy Cool. What a classic. Now this was actually my number 1 for a long time when I was putting this together. It's that twangy, bridge position, telly, overheated, underpowered tube amp tone. You can even hear the amp's AC hum during that intro. There's a couple of things. It sounds really simple, you know, an A chord with a bit of thumping on the downbeat, but no. For a start, it comes in on beat 2. 3, 4, 1. Like that. But once the riff is underway and it goes back to the open E string, the bass changes there. It accentuates that note. So, you know, normally we'd all just play like with that solid bass going, but no. But all the parts, the arrangement is perfect as well. I'm going to show you, I'm going to loop this one up if I can. 2, 3, 4. So even that last little 8th note of each bar on the G on the bass sits in its own little pocket it becomes part of the riff as well. It's just immaculate. I love it so much. What could possibly be better than Eagle Rock in positions 2 and 1? At number 2, I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for this name to pop up. Acca Dacca, the mighty AC/DC. I mean, these guys crafted enough legendary riffs to fill the entire list numerous times over. I've always loved with AC/DC, part of their formula, I think, is leaving space in their big hitting riffs, like Highway to Hell. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You Shook Me All Night Long. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. TNT. 2, 3. Dirty Deeds. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. It's all through the catalogue. I mean, there's Hell's Bells, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, Ride On. All of these are my favourite AC/DC riff. How do we choose but one? Well, if I had to choose just one, as a wide-eyed kid toting an SG copy, it definitely would have been this. Because I could not believe that degree of complexity could exist in such a straight-ahead sounding rock riff. It's just amazing to me, very clever. But now, with the benefit of hindsight, years of experience and a positively scientific degree of analysis going on, it would have to be this one. Have a listen to it. Once again, it's simplicity that makes this thing magical. But, you know, there's not many riffs where you get to go, boy, 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 boy. So here we are, at number 1 of my top 25 greatest Aussie rock guitar riffs. And who else to take out the top spot but the Australian Kings of Hook, my personal favourite ever Aussie rock band, In Excess. But how to choose? But in a final nod to the beauty that resides in simplicity, my pick has to be these 3 simple notes that never fail to get everyone in a pub playing air guitar. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you've stuck with it through to the end, I can't wait to read the comments and see what you think should have been in here and what you think shouldn't have been in here. Yeah, this has been heaps of fun. This has taken months of this has taken me months of wearing this shirt to put this thing together. So thanks, everyone. Please give me a like. Please share this. You know, this would be a good one to share. Get on Facebook or whatever you like and share it around for me. Don't forget to subscribe. Ring that bell so you don't miss the next list of whatever it takes me 6 months to put together. Thank you.